It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is Car Con Carne. It's a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Osdell, and Car Con Carne is brought to you by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Transform your living space with cutting-edge home automation. Experience seamless control over audio, video, lighting, climate, security, and more. Embrace the future of smart living. It's your home, your rules. Get a quote by visiting easy-automation.net or give my guy Dan a call. Dan can be found at 630-730-3728. It is a new year. Car Con Carne is not in the car. Car Con Carne is in a bar. This is really Bar Con Carne today. Bar Con Carne. I'm in LiveWire Lounge. Right next to me is Dave Hornyak, owner, proprietor. Grab a microphone.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you sound so much better now. We're sitting in front of the stage at LiveWire, hanging out on what is turning into a really cold, uncomfortable Chicago winter night. And this place is a fixture. This is a Northwest Side fixture, and I wanted to catch up with you. We've never done something on Car Con Carne.
No, surprisingly not.
Surprisingly not. Well, now is the time, Dave. Let's talk history. Let's talk LiveWire Lounge. When did you open your doors?
Well, let's see. I was just thinking about that the other day. This is a new year now. It's going to be 14 years in February. I got the keys on, it was right around Valentine's Day in February 2011.
And were you looking to do something like what became LiveWire? Or what was the concept when you were shopping around?
I was, I was living upstairs from and bartending at Liars Club for years before that, and I learned a lot from there. Hi, Herb, if you're out there, shout out. And I just kind of wanted to do my own thing. It wasn't really completely intentional. Actually, the opportunity kind of fell into my lap, and I decided to go for it. It was a supposedly up-and-coming neighborhood back then, which it
still is.
It still is. But it was kind of, I met my my now business partner, and he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So here we are.
And LiveWire Lounge, 3394 North Milwaukee, in that up-and-coming neighborhood. I believe it's still up-and-coming. Like, I believe it is coming. It's just slow out of the gate.
Yeah, I like, they say, there's a whole thing, I don't know, was it Rolling Stone or somebody, or one of those magazines did, like, Avondale's like one of the hippest neighborhoods in the world. It was
but they're referring to like 2 blocks of Avondale when they're saying that.
Right, yeah. Like, I like to call this Irvingdale.
Yes.
Because we're, Irving Park is right there, and we're here. But, yeah, we're just holding it down on the northwest end of the neighborhood, and everything's been good, almost 14 years now. And
this is, I guess you could call this a dive bar?
Yeah, dive bar with a stage, rock and roll.
This is Chicago. Okay, so I've got a PBR here. $2.
Yeah.
$2.
Right.
Why would anyone go to River North to an overcrowded bar, play dress up, pay $15 for a beer when you can come to LiveWire, hang out, hear Ozzy in the background, and drink a $2 PBR?
$2 PBR. Every day, happy hour. We do that. We open at 3:00. We just started that up a couple years ago when we were coming out of COVID. We did because the crowds had shifted to an earlier kind of thing. Remember when
none of us are getting any younger, Dave?
Yeah, so we decided, hey, let's tack on some early hours to the beginning of the day, and started opening early, and we've just been doing it ever since.
And let's talk about live music. We're here at a time. Kind of a peaceful time at LiveWire. It's not always peaceful in here. How often are you doing live events?
Typically every Friday, Saturday, we have live bands. Wednesday nights we do an open jam where it's just a lot of locals from the north side, northwest side. Get everything from blues musicians to like punk rock bands to, I mean, you name it. It's just an open jam where all the equipment's provided. That's pretty much every Wednesday, unless we have like a bigger touring act that's coming through, and then we kind of will do that instead. But
You do get the occasional underplays from touring bands, don't you?
yeah, we've done some good ones. Just had a really cool one, a couple cool ones. Just a few weeks back, we had Combi Christ for 2 nights, which was cool.
I was just listening to Combi Christ.
Really?
Fuck That Shit is one of my favorite songs.
And that was definitely a good part of the set. Great song. He was a lot of fun to work with. They did a 2-night thing where it was like they kind of took over for a couple nights, and we just set up shop and just rolled with it. It was a good time. Another really cool underplay we had right before that was a band called Unto Others, who actually one of my favorite newer bands right now. They kind of a goth metal kind of thing. They're actually going on tour with King Diamond starting in, I don't know, maybe March, I think. They're going out with him, but another really cool band that we had. They were supposed to be on tour with Wasp, and apparently Blackie Lawless is not he's a little weird, so something happened to where they were not on that tour anymore.
Okay.
And whatever that may have been, and they decided to just kind of book their own dates on the same routing because there were so many people that wanted to see them. So we were happy to host them here.
So we're in the middle of a neighborhood. We're in Irvingdale.
Irvingdale.
Is this a neighborhood clientele, or do people?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, the people we get coming in for shows are from all over town. All over out of town. I mean, there was. I think it was at the Combi Christ show. There was somebody that was from France that was here. Yeah. I mean, we when we get those weird underplays like that, sometimes you'll get people that have come in from far away that just want to see a show in a small place. So but during the day, like right now, I mean, we got a couple neighborhood people hanging out here. That's usually the crowd, like the after work kind of thing. For happy hour, and then it kind of shifts over until the into the late part of the night, and that's usually, if we have bands, that usually kicks off around 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm. So 14 years ago, you opened the doors. Could you have imagined what this would be? Looking in your crystal ball back then?
I'm surprised we're still here. I mean, like it doesn't seem like 14 years. I was young. Like I tell people, like, yeah, I was young, still young when we opened this place. I'm like growing old in this bar here. I kind of went all in on the neighborhood. I moved out of the place that I was in that was above another bar that we mentioned earlier, and moved in above this bar, and did that for about 5 years or so, 6 years, living above here. And finally it was just I found a place down the block, and I got a house here in the neighborhood, so I guess I'm all in on Irvingdale now. Yeah,
you need a little geographical detachment from the bar. You need to be able to walk away and be done for a couple minutes.
It's close enough. It's stumbling distance. Close enough if they need me, but far enough to where I can get out for a minute if I need to.
I do love pinball. You have pinball games here. You've got the Rush pinball.
Yes.
I was listening to A Show of Hands by Rush on the way here, the live album from 1989.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Great. I mean, they always had great live records.
They did. This one, though, the song selection, it was such a weird time. Like, they didn't do Spirit of Radio or Tom Sawyer. It was all like the 80s synthy stuff.
Like Keyboard Rush.
Keyboard Rush. The only, I could be wrong, the only, as I can remember, the only song from Moving Pictures was Witch Hunt on that.
Interesting.
Of all the songs of Moving Pictures.
Like no Tom Sawyer.
No Limelight, no Red Barchetta.
Wow. We actually do.
Choice.
On the subject of Rush, actually, it's kind of funny because every Wednesday for happy hour, we do Rush Hour. And it's
that's like a radio promotion.
Yeah, it's from 4 to 5. I'm sure you could relate. It kind of hits home there. But yeah, 4 to 5 Rush Hour. I think we actually, I think the record that we set, I think we actually had 5 people here for it one time. Was the record.
Well, maybe we're getting the word out now.
Yeah, come on out. Rush Hour every Wednesday.
So looking back on 14 years, what's been the high point? What, like, was it a show? Was it something more personal?
Oh, man, it's really hard to say. Yeah, just some of the shows. I don't know, like 20. You know, I know 2024 just wrapped up. You know, and there are a lot of people saying, yeah, you know, let's kick this year to the curb. It was a shitty year. Hopefully 2025 is better. I mean, I do hope 2025 is better. I always hope it's better. But I'd say like 2024, no complaints really. It was pretty good. I guess. So, you know, I mean, that was probably the high point was this year. I mean, it just keeps.
Well, that's good if it's the most recent memory and that happens to be that's the trajectory you want to go on.
Yeah, like. So I'm hoping we can keep it going for 2025. You know.
So, taking COVID out of the equation, what was the hardest point of the past? What was the biggest challenge of the past 14 years?
Yeah, that was well, the first year or two was tough getting the place open. You know, I worked every day. You know, right in the very beginning. I mean, we built the place while we were still open. It was an operating bar. You know, it was a corporation that was already. You know, existing license, so it was open. So we kept the bar open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Mm-hmm. We didn't even have a name yet. It was just 3394 North Milwaukee, and a
bar without a name. People probably assumed it was a cop bar if there was no name. It was just
right. Yeah, they very well have. But yeah, so it was a little rough. You know, we would we'd open up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday night, shut down, bust out the tools, and just start building shit, you know. So
that's a hard way to live. I mean, that's round the clock, different parts of your brain and body in action.
Yeah, the random people that would come in during those times, they'd be here on a Saturday, and then they'd come back the next week. Oh, wait, hey, there's a stage. Yeah, okay, yeah, you know, the next week. Oh, hey.
Wait, so you built the stage?
Well, yes.
I'm looking at it right now. For those who are listening, it's right over my right shoulder. Plenty of room?
Plenty of room, yeah. You know, it's cozy. It's not the biggest stage in Chicago, but it's not the smallest. You know, yeah, the sound system, you know, I mean, it's pretty overblown for this room, but it gets the job done, and then some. Yeah, I'm trying to think of it, you know, some other difficult time. I mean, there's definitely been some. I remember when they redid the street out front, and they ripped up. We had no sidewalk for a whole summer. I think it was 20.
And that wasn't great for business?
That was not great for business at all. We had a little bridge that, you know, there's a couple of planks that you have to walk over, and that was a little rough. You know, yeah, there's definitely, it hasn't been all, you know, great times, but it's all been worth it. So that's the important part.
It's all been worth it. This is such a great place to hang. Again, LiveWire Lounge, 3394 North Milwaukee Avenue. I love being here right now. I love being here when it's noisy and there's a live band on stage. I was like just chilling out, hanging out, having my PBR.
That's right. I haven't started drinking yet, but I'm definitely going to.
All right, well then we'll toast when that happens. Right.
Hey, Mikey, can I get a PBR really quick?
Look at that responsiveness. That's Mikey behind the bar.
Fast service here at LiveWire.
And I mean, that's Mikey from the goddamn gallows over there.
Mikey Classic, ladies and
From
gentlemen.
the goddamn gallows.
Look at the big boy right there. Real quick. Oh, yeah, see? PBR tall
big boy, okay.
Mikey Classic in the house.
Thank you,
James,
Mikey.
Thanks for coming by, man.
Truly my pleasure. Great to chat with you. And again, LiveWire Lounge, 3394 North Milwaukee.
In Irvingdale.
In Irvingdale.